Alright, so now we're going to look at a nose, how to put a nose on this character. And to start out with, what I like to do here is make sure, here's the lips, right? And I'm going to insert an edge loop in that area. And then I'll work out the whole mirror issue. I'll hit Tab, then A, and then move this off to the side just a little bit so I have the ability to merge these together, just like that. Okay, with that merge limit set, I can move that back just a little bit more and create a good midline for the character. Now, if I ever needed to, let's say, clean up the ears or whatever, I can do it at this stage if I wanted to, but for right now, I want to focus on the nose. Okay. Now for me, I like having this applied. I'll probably end up cutting this a couple times, so bear with me. Okay, so I'm just using a sculpt and kind of sculpting a reverse triangle here. So, or I guess wouldn't you think of it as triangle, but yeah, Pontiac symbol maybe. Okay, next, go into edit mode. Control E. Pull it out a little bit. Then again, smooth vertice it back. Then go right back into sculpt mode. I generally push these back a little bit. Oops. These go up like that. These go in. And these go out. There, that fits him quite well. All right, now nostrils, right? Well, I wouldn't want to put nostrils in like this. Let's say I took these and just inset the faces, or inset them separately. What I want to do is have an area in between so I can have kind of a bulbous nose if I wanted to without affecting the actual nostril itself. All right, so how do we do that? Chop it. Okay, again, just going to turn on that feature where I can see through it. Chop it up. Turn on that feature, insert an edge loop. So Shift Alt, Control E, move that out just a little bit. And again, I'll add the modifier mirror. Go into Tab, hit Edit. Now, I might want to squish this up just a little bit because I've added some technical space to it. And that will compensate for that space. There we go. Again, I get it sort of close to the middle where I can see this line. So when I use merge, I can definitely see that sealed up. Okay, apply it in object mode. And now you'll see that I have a good space in here. Okay, that gives me a lot of wiggle room for bulbous nose or whatever else I want to create or sculpt in this area. Okay, now I can go in here and inset these faces. And I can inset them like that. Again, I use the select outer turned off. Control E, push those up. And then just do a smooth vert just a couple times. And that gives me the good topology in that area. Cool. While I'm here, I might as well do the lips. Again, you could do this. I like doing this when it's chopped in half because it'll mirror onto the other side automatically. I should just create some kind of script that does this. X faces. There we go. All right, lips are like this, and I'm going to cover it in another video also, but for this character, it's the same as the other character. It just gives you more practice or to see how the technique works. Knife tool. Turn this feature off so I can see not through the mesh. And I'm just going to choose where the mouth is going to end and begin. In this case, I think right about here is where I'm going to have the mouth end. And then I'm going to start backtracking. Just like that. Hit enter. And now in order for this to work with a good topology, I would have to have an edge loop that goes around the mouth. Alright, so if I use the knife tool and start from the corner and cut into this new triangle, enter. And knife tool again, center of that triangle, and hit enter. I now have that. I'll jump into sculpt mode just so I can move this one here. So that puts it at the corner of the mouth. Oh, and let me move this one back. Like that. So I use sculpt mode a lot. I use sculpt mode more than I do actually going in and moving vertices by hand. There's no doubt about it. By the way, I have the wireframe turned on here so I can see that change. Okay, now I can get rid of these. Delete them. And I'll grab that natural edge loop that's occurring in there now. Just like that. And use Control E to move this back. It all depends how far you want to move it back and how much space you want for the mouth. Also, you could look at increasing the size here or spreading these across. I used to use, and I don't know if this might work, so if I go to the sculpt mode, there's an inflate feature. And I know I have it on deflate, but you know, it works kind of weird this way. So deflate actually inflates. I know that sounds weird, but it does do a good job at separating these. And you can up the strength quite a bit and still get away with it. Once you get them apart, then you can use the F grab. One thing you got to be wary of is the center point. Okay, and what I mean by that is this one right here needs to have a good center. Okay, jump in the top and we can fix that. I turn on Z, go into edit mode, grab vertices, and I grab all the vertices down the center and include the ones with the mouth. Then I can scale these negatively until it's flat. Okay, hit Z again so I can get into solid, And now I can now mirror the character over. Cool. This time I don't think I have to do much as far as merge limit is concerned. It's got a dead on center. But again, I like to check that out. It's nothing worse than mirroring a character and finding out later that in fact it's not mirrored correctly and it's got a bunch of vertices. That looks pretty good. Cool. Okay, apply that. And now we have a head with good topology and we can start messing around with sculpting on it. Very cool. And the advantages of having good topology is when you move certain parts of the mesh, the rest of it is unaffected, and you can have a great deal of change of things, and it always turns out, you know, near what the starting concept was. All right, so that is Introduction to Topology. Enjoy.